Hey
Hey there.
everybody.
How's it going?
Amazing. You wouldn't even believe it.
I probably would.
You wouldn't. I
Okay.
promise.
All right. All right. I'll take your word for it. Um,
Yeah.
hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Don't Some F Word Friday. Don't
Did you just say some effing word?
no, not effing word. Some F word. Don't flip out. Don't freak. Don't see. And this is the problem with the F word here.
I know. There's
Yeah.
too many of them.
There's too many. There's just so, and then there's one that we don't want to use.
That's right.
Anyways.
There's the one. There's a lot of F words that we probably don't want to actually use.
Yeah, that's
Very
true.
drawn out says don't fret Friday.
Yeah.
That
And I think Don't Fret
that's
Friday is a good one.
pretty much the best of all of them, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't uh
That and then don't flip out Friday
don't
is
front
kind of good
about
too.
don't fraught, freak,
Don't
or
freak out.
don't flitter. Don't don't
Don't flitter because it rhymes with glitter, and glitter is like
yes.
the evil.
Some people like it.
I
Like your
know,
wife, probably.
I know they love it. Yes. Oh, yes. But man, glitter is my enemy. I get one little speck of it on my face,
And
and
then
then
you're like
I'm shiny. The whole rest of the day, I'm like a vampire on the Twilight movie.
yeah, you just stand out and like any source of light reflects and hits people in the eye and
I,
you feel
I
bad.
don't know.
Mm-hmm. I get
I
it.
know. It's ridiculous.
Yep. That's why it's hard to have little girls because then if you give them like a lot of clothing has glitter stuff on it, and so then you give them glitter stuff, and then wherever they go, there's glitter, and there you are sitting in it. It's all over your face, on your clothes.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere.
So to make sure you don't buy clothes with glitter on them.
Right.
Yep. I love you too,
Yeah.
Bree.
Yes, Bree, we love you. That's a massive amount of amazing hearts that you've put on that.
Yes. Thank you so much. Hey, Haley, Jeffrey, very drawn out. Nightcore, Dragneel, Rag Attack, Kayla, welcome. Sophia, Jose,
Haley,
Haley, yep. So,
we're gonna miss somebody.
yeah,
We
if I
probably
missed you, just pretend I got you. So welcome to Don't Fret Friday. This is the show where we basically just talk about whatever your concerns are, in life, whatever's going on in the moment or in the past that you're worried about, you're concerned about, whether that be family life or doing your laundry. It doesn't matter. We're here to talk about it, make you feel a little bit better, encourage you a little bit along your path. Everybody needs encouragement on a
hmm
daily basis, for the most part. And we hope to give that to you. We're not a supplement for any professional psychiatrist, police officer, corn dog enthusiast. We are not a
No,
supplement for
definitely not one
anybody.
of those. We're not a substitute.
Um, a
We are a
substitute.
sup. We are a
A
supplement.
supplement. Yeah, not a
We
substitute.
we
Yeah.
are a supplement,
Okay.
like a nutritional supplement.
Right. Right. Of
Yeah,
great nutritional value for your brain
great.
and
Yes, if
sometimes
there
your
was a
body.
nutrition facts label on Don't
Mhm.
Freak Out Friday,
Yep.
it would be 100% of the good stuff.
Oh, okay. I was like, just wait, because hopefully, every nutritional fact adds up to 100 on every label. But I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. They retract. It says only 99% because they have to make room for the air in the bag, and that's actually part of the product. Um, so if you buy a bag of chips and it doesn't label the air, the oxygen, then you need to go call them and say, hey, excuse me, I opened this bag and it wasn't full of chips. It had air in it too. And
Yeah,
so where's the nutritional facts on that? Because when I open
yeah.
a bag of chips, the first thing I do is, you know, and I suck it all in because that's the best part.
The
Okay.
air,
Yeah. The air tastes like something.
it
No,
does. It tastes
like
like
the chip.
something.
Yes.
Sometimes like the chip. It's really weird when
Sometimes
it
like the
tastes
factory.
like something different.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, what's this bag made of? That's crazy.
Yeah. Plastic or something. Anyways, welcome everybody.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. So we do have Akil with us. Welcome, Akil.
Is this really you, Akil, or is this your friend? Are you in class, or I think was it last time? Was it last time Akil was here in spirit, but it had a doppelganger.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think this might be the real one, but we don't know. So if this is the real Akil, the real Akil. That's a catchy little bit there.
Yep.
If this is the real Akil,
it's a great band name. I call it.
Oh, okay. You can be the real Akil. If you ever make a band name, sorry, it's already taken. So yeah, you asked a question a couple of weeks ago now, I believe.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to get to it because it's been hard to get with you. But
and Akil actually posted it himself right here. Excuse me. Right here on this area that I'm going to put a link to right now for all of you. Akil went here and he posted his question right there, right where all of the ones from the live stream go. He did it all by himself. That's tremendous initiative, Akil. Tremendous.
And Kayla says she has a question for later.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. And I see Jose is here. Jose had one last time.
Oh yeah, we have to get to that. There's quite a bit of chatter here going on.
There is. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. So you want to do Akil's? You feel comfortable with that? I think.
Sure.
I think Akil's the one that's here. I didn't get a direct response to that question, but he did say something like,
"It's him." He says.
Okay.
It's Saturday, so he's.
Yeah, that's okay.
So yeah,
matters too. So. Okay, I think Akil wants us to do Kayla's, but I'm gonna do Akil's because it's been here for a while.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. I mean, some of it may be answered in here. It's a question comment thing.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
It looks like it's well thought.
Yeah. I haven't read through this yet, so if you'd like to read through it, that'd be cool.
Okay, you want me to read it?
Yeah.
All right. I will read it. This comes from Akil. It was posted September 12th, so a while back. And Akil says, excuse me, I guess I'm really my worst enemy. Who am I? Who I need to be? I don't remember what I was chasing. What was I fighting for? It used to be so clear for me, or at least I think it was. A foot in adulthood ironically brought a change in me from my younger times. Sadly, it wasn't what we need. It wasn't innocence or optimism. It was what I did to go through my past, be a villain with little to no regard in humans' worth compared to mine. Those were dark times, but I can't seem to keep myself down from it. It really helps with being professional, but it made me lacking of any drive. I lack emotions lately. It's seriously affecting my relationship with the members in society, and that kind of just took away one of the advantages of being able to keep myself professional. In the end, I'm Dr. Jekyll. I'm Mr. Hyde. I have lost many, slipped through my fingers when my hand was reached out to them. However, if I lose myself, if I stray, then all of the pieces of people I'm trying to keep alive in myself will be all for naught. My other me will disagree, saying something like the past is the past and just move along. The people are gone, insignificant. I don't want to be a hypocrite too. I can't let myself take that away from me. So, yes, he's got there's
Battle of
I really appreciate you bringing this up, Akil, because I think a lot of people from time to time in their life have this challenge, but since I read the question, I'm going to let Ryan take the first crack at I guess it's not really a question. It was more of a story.
Yeah, it's more of a story, but it's definitely a concern.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, as Joe was saying, I think a lot of people go through this. It's an internal conflict, a battle of self-conscience. You know, you want to do the right thing, but at the same time, you want to do the wrong thing. And this happens to a lot of people. Um, I remember one time I was talking to somebody. Um, it was a guy I met for the first time, about a day prior. And me, okay, so I went to a wedding. I'll just say it like this. I went to a wedding. It was Amory and Pedro's wedding. And if you don't know who that is, Amory's the one that I did It's Not Like I Like You with. Pedro is her husband. So they were having their wedding. I went down to Oregon to meet them and celebrate their wedding. And it was a beautiful, awesome, spectacular, incredible time. I had way better time than I ever expected. Some of the individuals there I hung out with a lot, and we got along really well because we were all really open, mostly. We're all pretty good at, you know, dealing with people and having relationships and so on. And one of them was asking a question. Is everything all right, Joe?
Yeah, I'm reading through Kayla's while you talk.
Okay. Um,
Do I look perplexed?
well, yeah, you look like something was upsetting, so I just wanted to tap in there. Okay.
Like this?
No, not at all.
Because I'm trying to read. Nightcore says, "How old are we?"
Oh,
Yes, between the two of us, we have over 40 years of experience.
oh my gosh, that's something. Yeah, wouldn't it be like 60?
We have combined. I said over. I said over
70?
40.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That's over 60.
it is actually.
Yeah.
Good call.
Okay, so
Sorry,
anyways,
I totally messed up your train of thought. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. So anyways, while I was there, one of the people had mentioned that he felt like he was the only one with this problem because he was like, okay, I've got this thing and I'm wondering if any of you know how to deal with it. If you ever had any experience with it. And he's talking about his OCD and he's talking about getting weird impulses and not knowing how to act on them. Um, like, you know, randomly you get an impulse to do something and you're like, but that would be, why would I want to do that? That sounds terrible. That would hurt this person or whatever. And then, you know, those impulses come throughout the day, you know, and there's a lot of them. You know, what do you do? Is there any way to make them go away? And so, et cetera. And then mostly we comfort them by saying like, hey, you know, actually, you're not the only one that experiences this. This is pretty normal. Everybody has this. Everybody is totally capable of this. And a lot of times it comes from a perspective of self-want, like not in particular in the sexual meaning of this, but lust. Can be lust and sexual meaning, but lust in general, just wanting for yourself at possibly the expense of others. And there's nothing wrong with wanting for yourself, but there is something wrong with, you know, having it at the expense of others for sure. You know, taking advantage of people or not caring at all about the person in front of you. So what you do in this scenario is kind of like you do with anything. You know, you get these, you have these natural impulses that aren't good for you. Like, you know, hey, I want to eat all of this right now. I should probably eat something nutritious, but I'm going to eat a cookie instead. It's easier because it's already right in front of me. I don't have to make anything and I'll get my fill, you know, but it's not good for you, you know, to do that continuously. But that's your impulse. But what are you going to do? You know, we all have that. We all have that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. We're all a combination of things that we like about ourselves and don't like about ourselves. And we're always fighting to try to let the better side of us win. But it's not easy. You know, it feels like a losing battle most of the time because most of the time you catch yourself failing or you have this desire and then you know it's bad, but you do it anyways. And then you get upset at yourself. You know, everybody has that. But the beautiful thing is knowing that that exists within you just gives you the ability to try hard to overcome it. Our subconscious mind, I don't know if you know a whole lot about the subconscious mind, but subconscious mind is basically the part of our mind that stores and executes habits. So, things like how to ride a bike. If you've ever ridden a bike before, you've learned how to ride a bike. Now you can ride a bike without thinking about it. That's your subconscious mind. It's able to do things without you thinking about it. How to walk around, how to speak the language that you speak. But this also includes your emotions and your desires, what you like in a man or a woman, and why you're attracted to them. These are all parts of your not genetic makeup, but your subconscious makeup. And they're all programmed through some events, one event or another. However, because they're habits, they can change. Does that mean it's super easy to change them? No. Does that mean you can get rid of them forever? Probably not. But you can form habits that are healthy. So if you work on forming habits that are healthy, you'll move yourself in the right direction. You'll always have moments where you aren't loving to a person as best as you should have been. That'll always happen. But you can get better at it every single day if you concentrate on doing that. Take time out of your day to purposefully act lovingly to somebody. So what I would suggest for you in your current situation is this. Spend time thinking about what can you do that would be nice for another person, and then go do that. Doing that every day for the next couple of months, if you can. Just try it for a month. Just try it for 21 days or whatever the thing is. Try it for 1 month is what I recommend. Think about one thing you can do that would make you go out of your way to do it for another person, to help them or to make them smile or to brighten their day or whatever it is. This will create a habit in which you'll be thinking more about how to love people and do better at that. And I know you spoke about, professional. There is definitely a degree of looking professional when you don't appear emotional. But I'll tell you that professional does not mean antisocial. A lot of times people will try to look professional, and by doing so, they remove their relationships. They remove their ability to make relationships with their clients or with the people around them. But the people that are most attractive in the professional realm are those that you like emotionally, the ones that you are drawn to because you have a relationship with. So if you go to someone's house and you're trying to sell them something, if you make them smile and feel like they're forming a relationship with you, you're more likely to sell them a product than if you go to their house and let them know everything about the product and how awesome the product is. You're actually more likely to make a deal with a relationship than you are with how good the product is. And that's true in almost every form of business. So while professionalism definitely requires a lot of things that you can gain through learning how to back off and not let your emotions overtake you and all of these things, there's also a lot of professionalism that comes from being able to relate with people and love on them. And loving on people is the best way that you can form relationships with people. So again, this is something that everybody deals with. And the best thing you can do, and I really like what you said, by the way, about, carrying on the loved ones that you lost, and becoming like the best version of yourself for their sake. And I think that's so awesome. I want you to keep doing that. Keep thinking those thoughts. That's really cool. But yeah, just try every single day from now on. If you, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but this is what I would recommend is every day for the next month, figure out in the morning or whatever, think about one person that you can do something for just to make them smile, just to make their day go better. Maybe you might not figure it out in the morning. You'll figure it out throughout the day and be like, oh, this is my opportunity right here. I see it right before my eyes. This person is, going through a thing. I can walk in there and we can talk, anything like that. Find one thing that you can do for a person every single day. And I think, you might already be doing that already, but focusing on that will make your mind habitually, more naturally focus on that sort of thing. And that will draw you forward in your path of changing your mind from one side over to the other. Because really what this is all about is your focus. What are you focused on the most? Subconsciously, what's your mind preoccupied by? Is your mind preoccupied with itself, with the things it wants, or is it preoccupied with giving to others? If you can preoccupy your mind with beautiful things, I work. I'm Catholic, but one thing that I know a priest told me once is, you need to preoccupy your mind with better things. So, read stories of saints. Read stories of people who excelled at loving. Read stories of the saints that died, or martyrs that died for a cause, who spent their life giving to other people, and who just live extraordinary lives that you're just like, wow, I wish I could be that courageous and amazing. Read those stories, and do it every single day, and that will help you start to make the steps, and that it'll help you start to make those steps to becoming a saint yourself. It'll help you start making those steps to becoming that person that you want to be, because then your mind is constantly, if you do that every single day, your mind will be focused and constantly reminded in every situation about, okay, what would be the best thing to do in this situation that will make me a wonderful, cool, amazing person? And so whenever anything comes along throughout the day, whether it be some bad thought or some opportunity to help, your mind is already focused on, the good, the serving, the selfless acts, because you read those stories all the time. So there's a lot of things you can do to form these habits. So yeah, reading stories of really cool people that are very loving and kind, that'll help you moving forward in this direction. But also just taking time out of your day to think about that for other people, how to help other people, and and trying to do that. And okay, you said professionalism. It's mostly it mostly affects my sincerity. I'm apparently a good liar when it comes to business. It just feels like I'm being fake. And sure, let me tell you something about being fake. In order to become the person you want to be, you're going to have to pretend to be that person before you're actually that person. Does that mean you're fake? Well, no. It just means that you're being a different person, being the best person you can be, even if it takes you being unnatural. It takes you going outside your comfort zone, or it takes you being the person that you don't see yourself as. But you need to be able to do that to move forward. So, but as far as lying, yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to lie, even if it's to make money. But as far as personality or sincerity or how much you care about somebody, being fake, that's okay. That's actually okay, because you need to be fake before you can actually form the habit of doing that naturally. You need to be fake before you can grow in a lot of scenarios, because your natural desire is generally to take the easy route, take the bad route, take the selfish route. And to decide against those would be deciding against yourself, your own natural desires. But then again, that's what makes you who you are, and that's what changes who you are and what you desire. So, I mean, we are called to be fake in order to grow. But I think that calling it fake is not really what we should call it. I would say it's maybe not being true to your bad self, but it's being true to your good self, the self that you want to become, the self that is trying to do its best, or the best for yourself and other people around you, But I understand you can feel fake doing that, when you put on a fake smile to make others happy, or so that other people don't notice you're hurt. You know, I can understand that can be painful, but at the same time, it also does help. I think, you know, it helps you, helps your own attitude, and helps not bring others around you down with you. So even if you're being fake and you've got that fake smile, um, that's not bad for you. And in fact, you do it because you're strong. You're strong enough and capable enough of doing that. That shows strength. Doesn't show weakness. It shows strength. So yeah, anyways, that was a lot on a lot of different subjects, but anyways, I think you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna let Joe take over.
That was really good, Ryan. I was reading through the chat there for part of it, but I loved a lot of the things you said, and what you were talking about just there at the end about the whole being fake with your smile and all this kind of stuff. We can't. It just sparked something in my brain. It's not necessarily fake to exhibit self-control. Like if something horrible is happening, or whatever, and then you paste a smile on your face and maintain a good attitude, that could be just exhibiting self-control and not letting outside forces affect you inside.
Yeah, thanks for putting a word to that. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you bet. But man, I'm really glad you posted this, Akil, because like I said in the beginning, I think a lot of people have this internal battle. We all have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We all have good and evil. We all and there's an old Native American story about two wolves inside each person, and there's the wolf that is the good energy wolf, and then there's the bad energy wolf. And there have been other books written about this type of stuff too, but the real key, what it comes down to, and in the Native American story, it talks about you get to decide which wolf you're going to feed and which wolf you're going to starve. So you have the good wolf, you have the Dr. Jekyll wolf, you have the Mr. Hyde wolf. And you get to choose based on your actions, what you decide, your thoughts and your actions will feed one of those wolves. If you live with virtue and think virtuous thoughts and think positively and think thoughts of self-reliance and like I'm strong and the world isn't going to affect me, I'm a proactive person, that will feed the Dr. Jekyll wolf, and that wolf will in turn grow over time. There's this principle called auto-suggestion. Things that we repeat to ourselves over and over and over and over again start to get deeper into our subconscious mind. Now, Ryan was touching on the power of the subconscious mind for a little bit there. But that's what guides us, is our subconscious mind. We don't even really know it, but it's that programming that's underlying, that's guiding us. And the more we feed good thoughts and positive energy and empowering thoughts, the more that good wolf will grow, and it will starve out the evil one. Now, you'll never all get rid of it totally, but you can shrink it. And you can make it so, like, when a thought that comes in your head, that's one of the negative, one of the Mr. Hyde thoughts, one of the thoughts where you're using other people or, stuff like that, that when one of those thoughts comes across, it'll be much easier for the good wolf to just drown it out and be like, oh, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about, or something, or maybe I've heard using the term, like when a thought comes through your head, maybe you're meditating and you're trying to focus and you're focusing on some aspect of something, and a competing thought comes into your brain, right? Because that happens. We get distracted. And the principle, the thing that they tell you to do when you're meditating is you say thank you and dismiss the thought. You say thank you for the thought and then dismiss it. So like, thanks for putting that in my brain, but now you're done. And it's okay.
But now you're done.
So, but I mean, that's really all I could add to what Ryan put in there, because his answer was so comprehensive. And go back and listen to that again and again, because he really nailed, a lot of the points in there of what, you can do and what is going on in there. And I really love when he talked about drive, and like he said, it's not a bad thing to have drive. It's not a bad thing to want things for ourselves. It's not a bad thing to want to achieve. And sometimes hand in hand, we feel like it's just a natural side effect because of some of our programming, that in order to drive for our own achievement, we feel like we have to stomp out somebody else, or we feel like we have to beat somebody else in order to get there. It's all competitive. And that's totally not true. Success is always win-win. That's true success. Like when you're successful at something, it's because you win. Like if you own a business and you're doing something and you're trying to succeed in the marketplace, the only way you win in business is when you win by selling your product or service. Your customers win because they're getting a good value product or service from you. So everybody in the transaction is winning. You're not taking advantage of somebody. It's just everybody has a genuine win in that situation. And too often, I think it goes through our whole lives in our school systems and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are in school right now, and pay attention to the things you're learning behind the scenes, because there are some things going on. I know one of the things that school taught me was to be afraid of failing. I know I learned that in school. I also learned that working together with somebody else was called cheating.
Yeah, that's weird.
But in the real world, like, we should try to work together. We shouldn't be like one hit wonder people. Well, that's not a bad. We shouldn't be like, I'm the man on the hill. I did it all by myself. Da, 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 da. No, we should be working together. We'll all get so much farther if we work together. But the underlying program, if you help somebody in school, or if you help your neighbor sitting next to you on the test, that's cheating. And yes, you want to be able to make quick decisions, but just pay attention to some of those little underlying things. Make sure that you're not afraid to fail once in a while. It's okay. And in fact, that's the best way to learn. And then working together, like I tell you, when Ryan and I have worked together on projects, that's some of my best work that happens.
Yeah, it's a lot more enjoyable too.
It's so fantastic. And yeah, so pay attention to some of that stuff. And I've noticed in what you've written here that some of these things might be coming from some of that old programming that may have led you in a direction to think, oh, this is just how success has to be, but that's not. It's not that way. And I can tell you're a good person, but all of us have good and evil inside us. And the more you feed the good wolf, the more the good wolf will grow, and the more the evil, the Mr. Hyde wolf, will shrink. You'll never quite get rid of him, but you can tame Mr. Hyde. And it'll take some time, and it'll take some consistent effort on your part, programming your mind, but you can do it. And yeah, I've toyed with the idea. Eventually, one day, I'm going to do some kind of guided self meditation type stuff. With some good music in the background and do some stuff like that. But yeah, so eventually one day I'll get to that point. I wanted to make one for beating addiction, but this also is a good one too. I think this would be a good one to do some auto suggestion and actually help to start reprogramming some of the old training, the old consistent training we get that's just a little bit incorrect. So
sure.
Anyway, hopefully that's helpful, Akil. I really appreciate you asking that. Excuse me. And being patient. Well, it took us a while to get to it, but yeah, you're awesome. And we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, yeah, Bree, I love you. Kayla, I love you. You guys, I hope you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, my goodness. It's been a very active chat.
Yeah. So it looks like we should probably get to Kayla's then, since that seems to be the pressing issue at the moment.
So I put Kayla's in the Don't Worry Wednesday. I don't think I got all of it, but
yeah. Jose is here as well.
Oh,
so no. It got it theirs as well. And
I didn't actually submit it.
Oh
no, I typed it all out. And then I never hit submit. It's gone because I navigated away from it. Oh, wait.
If you navigate back to it, it might auto-populate.
Oh, yeah, let's see. No, that's not it. No. Yes. Yay, I found it. There it is. I'm submitting it. Quick.
Jose says, I can wait. Don't worry. Cool. I figured that would be the case.
Yes. Okay, good. Thank you, Jose, for being patient. And Kayla.
Yeah.
Kayla is having an issue with a friend, and it's translating into
the battle now. Who goes first?
Yeah, I know. You guys are so sweet.
You guys are really awesome. Thank you for doing that. You guys are so cool. I appreciate that about everybody in this community is so giving and concerned with each other. I think that's really beautiful, and I'm so proud of all of you.
Kayla, you've got a lot of people fighting in your corner here. Crimson is saying Kayla first. Jose is saying Kayla first. That's not causing more problems. No, that's not causing a problem. Not at all.
You're good.
This is just people.
We were gonna get to them. Yeah, we were gonna get to them anyways. We're just gonna do it in this order now.
Yeah.
So okay. What is the question, Joe?
Do you want me to read it?
Oh, wait.
Do you want to read
it? I'll read it, and then you can give your answer first this time.
Okay.
Issue with a friend. 1 minute ago in questions/topics forums for the live.
That's where. Okay.
So my friend who I've been friends with forever has recently been complaining that her life is awful. But whenever she vents, I realize she really making her own problems. Of course, I never said anything before and tried to be there for her as much as I could. But she just started dating my crush. And of course, she found a reason to complain. I'm not the only one who realized she was being dramatic. Her other best friend who's known her for longer said she's always been like that. She says she does it for attention. So today I finally got mad at her when she started complaining about her boyfriend, who is also the boy of my dreams. Every time I go to her upset or depressed, she brushes me off and brings up her own problems. I went to her today telling her I wanted to die, and she began getting mad saying, "What do you have to be mad about? My life is awful." So I finally snapped at her. She was one of my only in real life friends, and now she hates me.
And there's
All right.
more. Like it went on from there, but that was all I copied and pasted, Kayla. So I'm sorry, but there was a lot of Kayla talking about feeling responsible if her friend decided to kill herself, and so Kayla would feel like it was her fault if that happened. And there's a lot of it.
Mhm.
Apparently, Kayla seems to be in a pretty dark place right now. And Kayla, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you are going through this. And I've been in that situation. I've been to the point where I've wanted to just die. um there were times when I would think about how I would do it and all these kinds of different things, and some ways were like super ultra dramatic, other ways were super quiet, but a lot of people I think contemplate that. And so I'm glad that this is being brought to light, another thing, because I think a lot of us have struggled in this area before, where we our lives don't feel like they matter, or we feel like no matter how hard we try, we can't get done what we want to do. In this case, you can't help your friend no matter how hard you try. And so that makes us feel responsible because we feel like we've failed and we've done something wrong. And it sounds to me, I mean, yes, um you say my urges are so bad. Yes, i I understand. There are still times even where it's just like, sometimes I do this exercise where I look forward to, the day that I die. And I'm like, I've got from now until that day. I don't know when that day is going to be, but I know it's coming. And there's a whole lot of stuff I want to do between now and then. And sometimes we can get into a pit of despair and thinking, none of that stuff even matters. The stuff I've wanted to accomplish, the stuff I've wanted to do, the impact I've wanted to make on the world or on other people, all that stuff goes away because of the challenge that's right in our face, because of the depression and the darkness that's right in our face. And actually, Ryan wrote a great song, When the Darkness Comes.
I didn't write that. Okay, that's
Static
why I
P,
write it.
Static P wrote it.
I did write it.
It's episode 0 of the Criminal Idol series. It's very good. And Kayla, I believe you when you say you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is our feelings cycle. They always do. Our feelings are always on this roller coaster. And so we can't necessarily always trust our feelings, because our feelings could be leading us down the wrong path. Sometimes our feelings make us think that the right thing to do is to steal something from somebody else. And that's not right. Sometimes when I'm driving, my feelings make me think it would be a good idea to swerve and ram the car that cut me off. But that's not the right thing to do. But that's what my feelings are telling me would be the right thing to do. So feelings can be deceiving, and feelings always pass. There is one phrase that I learned years ago that has gotten me through so many hard times. And that's 4 words. This too shall pass. I know that the feeling I'm feeling at any given moment is going to pass. If I am on cloud 9 and I'm feeling great, and it's like I just hit a goal, and I got money in my pocket, and I got food in my stomach, and I just, won at something, that feels so great. But you know what? This too shall pass. It won't be long, and that feeling will go back down to regulation, and it'll be like, you know, it'll be back to normal. And then, it'll dip down, and I'll be in a funk. It'll be like, oh man, today is terrible. And then I know this too shall pass. And Kayla, I see you say, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If she dies, I die. And truth of the matter is, every single one of us is going to die. And I know, Kayla, that you believe in God. And God is the author of life. And I'm going to go on a God tangent. So if anybody here doesn't believe in God, please accept my apologies. But God is the beginning and ending of our lives, the sustainer of our lives. Like, that's basically, we wouldn't exist. I heard a great phrase that said, God hums the universe. So like, God is consistently making the universe exist. And if he ever stopped, it would all just stop. So, but that's kind of the the analogy that I've learned about, some of this theological stuff. It gets a little bit deep. But oh yes, Kayla has been struggling with faith lately. I feel like God and Jesus have abandoned me. Yep. And you're Mormon. Yeah. So you definitely believe in Jesus. And God. Some of your beliefs are different than mine. I personally am Roman Catholic. But there are times, I mean, even in the scripture, a lot of people have felt like God has left them. A lot of people have felt separated from God, or even like, I think it was it Jacob who wrestled with God?
I think that sounds right.
Jacob. Yeah.
Jacob.
I don't know. Somebody in the Old Testament wrestled with God. And these are such hard challenges. But there's, Mother Teresa, we all have heard of her, I'm sure. She went through years and years and years of something called the dark night of the soul. And that's an experience where people feel abandoned by God. And it's a time when you feel like it doesn't matter what you do, you can't feel the grace of God on you. You can't feel any of it. It just is, it's like you're doing these things and it's empty. And she persevered through that for years and still kept serving orphan children in some of the poorest places on earth, because that was her call. That was her calling to do that. And, it's an experience that a lot of people have and have gone through. And I don't know why it happens. I don't understand everything. I don't even understand everything that happens to me.
I do. Just kidding.
That's why I'm really glad Ryan is going to be talking here in a minute, because
Nice.
he understands. But Kayla, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that it hurts. And I know what it's like to want to die. I know that feeling. I know that feeling very, very well. And it never really helped me. People would say, just think of all the people you'd let down if you did that. Just think of all the people that, would be hurt if you did that. And I'm like, yeah, that's half the reason why I want to do it, because they made me upset, so I want to hurt them, So at some moments, in other moments, it's like, I don't care. And in other moments, it's like, it's so far removed from what I was going through at the time that I wasn't even considering it, and I just didn't care about it. But somehow made it through. Somehow I didn't at that time. I held on for another day. And there were times when I'd say to myself, you know what? I'm just not going to do it now. You know what? I want to do it. Maybe I'll do it in the future. I'm not going to do it now. I'm just going to wait. And if that's all you can get yourself to do is just wait for 10 minutes, wait for 20 minutes, wait for a day, a week, then what you'll find is the feeling will pass. And we've said it before, we're not professionals. And there are times when it's appropriate to seek a professional. I know there are websites where there are professional therapists. You can go there. Some of them cost money. I know some of them don't, where you can, chat live with somebody, or, or correspond email back and forth and stuff like that. But, we love you, Kayla. And the world would be much emptier without you. Your voice is powerful. It's beautiful. And, and your heart is as well. And I know that even in the midst of this challenge, this struggle, that beauty is still there. And never forget, I know there are times when you feel totally useless and totally worthless. But you were created. And that creator does not make junk. Ever. And I don't know what else. I mean, at this point, I'll probably just start spinning my wheels and repeating things that I've already said. But all I can tell you, Kayla, is that we love you. And it hurts my heart to know that it hurts your heart right now. I'm watching the chat scroll by, and it breaks my heart. And say you want to meet Ryan and Joe, we want to meet you.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I look forward to the day I want to write some music with you, and I want to, work together on some projects with you at some point. Somehow, I know Ryan has collaborated with people over the interwebs, and you obviously have a setup that is conducive to doing some great performances. And I know between our respective technologies, we could probably make some pretty good things happen. And who knows where, but like Ryan, like the Static P song, we never know where this life might take us, and I can't wait to see what kind of projects we can work on together. So hang in there, Kayla. I know it's hard, but this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
And keep coming back, because we love you. And I'm going to hand it off to Ryan.
All right. Crimson said something that I really liked. It was a while back, but they said something along the lines of, you have to be okay if you want your friend to be okay. And that's very true. You go through life and there's going to be a lot of people who, some moments they're doing a lot worse than you, some moments they're doing better than you. But, sometimes you're going to be the one that needs a lot of help, and sometimes other people around you are going to need a lot of help. But either way, no matter what the moment is, if you're strong, it makes other people around you feel stronger. A lot of times you're going to have friends that are weak, and you're going to have to be strong for them. And when your friend wants to commit suicide, it would not be helpful to talk about committing suicide for yourself, because you need to be someone strong in that moment so that you can carry their weight in that moment. One problem is there's a lot of talk of suicide in our culture and around the world. Mm-hmm. And the more talk of suicide that there is, the more suicide there's going to be, because it's just like this. If you talk about suicide, then suicide is going to be an option. You might not have thought about it if no one ever recommended suicide before, but now because someone said it, someone recommended it, someone did it that you knew, now suddenly that's in your head as a viable option, as something you could choose to do. Kind of like you probably didn't know that you could put chocolate on your ice cream and it would be tasty when you had never seen that done before. But then the first time you saw chocolate and ice cream together and you had it and you're like, whoa, this is good. Now you know you can put chocolate and ice cream together, right? Well, same thing with ice cream on pizza. You might try that and be like, oh, that's terrible. But either way, you never really thought about it until you had it, or someone showed it to you, or the two ideas came together. But the more that something is talked about, the more you end up thinking about it, and the more viable the option is, the more likely you'll choose it. A great example of this is the way that companies sell you things. A lot of times you'll see a commercial on television. That commercial is advertising something, but it's not intended to get you to buy it. A lot of times they just want to make that message and put it into your brain so that the next time you go to the store and you see it, you actually see it. So next time you think, oh, I need this type of object, is there anything that does that? Suddenly you'll be reminded of what was on TV, right? It's the advertiser puts something in your brain as a concept. And then when you finally need to use that concept, the first thing you think about is that commercial, and then you go and buy it from them. And similarly, suicide is the same way. The more you think about suicide, the more people around you talk about suicide, the more people that want to commit suicide and talk about committing suicide, the more and more and more you're going to feel like that's an okay thing to do. The more you're going to think about doing it yourself. And the more you talk about it, the more your friends are going to as well. And so in that kind of moment, it's really not easy, but you have to be strong and do away with the idea of suicide. Because now just saying that isn't maybe going to help you, but I will promise you that the less you think about suicide, the less you'll want to commit suicide. The less you're talking about suicide to people around you, the less you'll think about it. Some things in life, when you get it off your chest, you are able to stop thinking about it and then you can go on. But some things in life, the more you talk about it with your friends, the more you think about it every moment of the day until your brain is absorbed with that sort of thought. And so I would recommend trying to get away from talking about suicide, saying you're going to commit suicide, thinking about suicide. And as far, maybe you can't control your thoughts, completely and just say, I won't think about it. It's going to happen because it's everywhere. It's on the TV. It's in our friend's mouth. It's everywhere, right? But if you can at least stop yourself from talking about it, that will help you think less about it. And that will help your friends talk less about it. Suicide is not an okay option. Mm-mm. Life isn't easy, but ending it has no meaning in it. You don't gain anything by ending it. You do away with all the things that you're worried about because now you're no longer here to worry about it. But let me tell you something. In most faiths, there is an afterlife, and there's no part of that afterlife that says you won't have worries. In fact, it's said in the Bible, in the faith that you live, that the saints are constantly praying for us. And if you think about that, that means the saints are actually dealing with more stress and worry for us and our own friends than we are, because they're constantly praying. They care probably more than we do because they have that accelerated ability to love because they're within the presence of God, who is love. And so that means when you die, according to your own faith, when you die, you'll still worry about your friends and you'll pray for them. Now, not everybody is of the same faith there, and I apologize if that offends anybody, but that's how it is in the Christian faith. And that's beautiful. It's not painful. I mean, it might be a little painful, but it's beautiful nonetheless. It's a wonderful, incredible thing. But just because you die doesn't mean that you do away with all your struggles. It doesn't mean you solve anything for anybody else. It doesn't mean you solve anything for you. So it's not really a viable option. It's not really ever a good idea. It's tempting. Mm-hmm. It can be tempting. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to help anything. You'll die when you die, and that's fine. You'll get there someday. No reason to rush that, and that'll be cool when it happens. But for now, it's not your time. And the world is a beautiful place to be in. I've said this before, but how you see the world is how you'll feel living inside of it. So if you think the world is crap, if you feel like the world around you is falling apart, then you will feel like crap and you will feel like you're falling apart. But if you can be strong for the world, then the world will start to follow suit. Me and Joe, we get together and we talk, do these Don't Worry Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. And we all do it for you guys. And
we talk
I can't say that it's
Don't Worry Wednesdays too. And you guys come up in our conversation a lot.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Outside of Don't Worry Wednesdays as
Mm-hmm.
well, because we love you guys.
That's true.
Anyway, sorry, Ryan. Keep
That's
going.
true. A lot of it is praising you guys for being so awesome. You guys are just really, you blow me away with how caring you guys are and everything like that. So we really appreciate you guys. But I write songs. Joe writes songs. We all do it for you guys. It's weird, but we all do it for you guys. That's not normal in our society. But I can tell you something also. I'm happy. I'm a happy person. I'm not thinking about suicide. I don't even consider it. I think the world is an incredible, beautiful place. And when I look around me, I can see that. I can be thankful for so many things that I have, a lot of things I didn't earn, but I have them. I have them even though I never earned them. Everything in life is a gift. We don't get to pick what we have. Sometimes we can go out shopping, but most of the times, I mean, even the money that we have was a gift in one way or another. Everything in life is a gift. And the more we give that gift away, the happier we generally are. And the more we can be thankful for what we have, the happier we are. And so, my point is, me and Joe, we do this for you guys, and we enjoy it very much. And we have to talk about, bad things because you guys are dealing with them. And we have bad things that happen in our life a lot too. But more than anything, we never really feel like, at least I can speak for myself, like doing harm to ourselves or committing suicide or, that sort of thing. And that's because our concentration is mostly on you. And we can be thankful. We've had a lot of things that happened to us over the years that helped us gain wisdom, helped us towards the direction of happiness, help us to grow in our faith, help us to enjoy life more. And I'll tell you, Joe has a great eye at looking at people and seeing good in them. He can see someone and meet someone for the first time and start to notice things about that person that are attractive. Personality, talents, image, all sorts of different stuff. And that sort of activity makes him see the world better, makes him see himself better. And so I'd suggest the same thing to you. Look at the world, try to look at the world and start to notice the beautiful things in it. That'll help you pull away from the desire to concentrate on all the bad things. A lot of times the reason we hate life is because we're so focused on hating life. The reason we hate life is because we're so focused on all the things we don't like about it. But those things are there whether you focus on them or not. And a lot of us who love life, the only difference is we're focusing on the things that we love about it. So if you can be strong for others and focus on the things that make life an incredible thing, you will help yourself so much. You will not believe how that changes everything. Just learning to love the things around you and focus on those things. Those bad things, they'll be there, but they don't help you. If they're bad, they're not helping you. So don't give them a second thought, right? If I put my hand on the stove and it's hot and it burns my hand, I go, ow, my hand hurts, and it hurts for the rest of the day. But I don't return to the stove and put my hand back on it. Okay, right? And that's kind of like what we do when we vent, when we talk about all the bad things. It's okay to vent. That's okay. But when you're concentrating on all the bad things all the time, all day long, it's like you walking back up to the stove and putting your hand back on it because you wanted to express and revisit the pain that you just felt and then make it worse. I can understand the urge to do that, but it's not healthy and it doesn't help you. Doing something other than that is helpful. There are many productive things, and you can go and you can put ice on your hand instead to help it reduce the inflammation, and help your hand heal. Or you can put your hand back on the stove. I mean, that's up to you, but it'd be better if you put ice on it. And so similarly with your mind, if you focus on all the bad things over and over and over every single day, you're gonna hate life, and you're gonna hate yourself, and you're gonna want to end it. You're gonna say, this human that I am is a terrible person, and I'm just gonna destroy it. Because there's no recovery from this. There's no way back out of this. There's no way to help me. Or you can think about the good things every day and learn to thank the things that you have. Thanks for the bed that I have to rest in. It's not the most comfortable bed in the world, but it's a lot better than the cement ground. It's a lot better than the dirt floor, the bumpy dirt floor. I don't know if any of you ever been camping, but man, that is not comfortable to sleep on a bumpy, hard, sandy, dirty, grassy, weird, pokey things, sticks on the ground. Okay? Be thankful for the roof above your head. Be thankful that you have the talents you have. Be thankful for the friends you have, even if they're not perfect. Be thankful for the moments you get to spend. And be thankful for that you get to take a shower.
Yeah.
Be thankful you have. All of that stuff is good. All of that stuff is wonderful, beautiful, enjoyable.
Be thankful if you have hair.
Nah, no, hair's bad. No, just kidding. If you take time out of every day to start focusing on the things that you like about the world, you're going to start liking the world a lot better, and you're really going to start liking you a lot better. And if you take time out of your day to start liking your friends, even when they're being stupid, even when they're being a nuisance, when they're causing you trouble, when they're causing themselves trouble, when they're talking about committing suicide, if you just take a moment to express that you love them and find the good in them and enjoy them and think of them as beautiful, not only will that help your relationship with them, but it'll pick them up too. And then that'll pick you up. Trust me. You pick others up around you and you see that light them up and smile. That does the same back to you. You end up smiling more too. You end up feeling picked up. So, anyways, again, I'm going to say it again. I've said it many times before. I'm going to say it again. How you see the world is how you'll feel living in it. So if you think this world is all doom and gloom and you think there's no future, then you'll think that about yourself. And that's not good, because that's not even true. The world will go on regardless of the fact that there is evil in it, because there is plenty of that. But the world also has a lot of good in it. A lot. I think a lot of people say, there's no good men out there. They're all terrible, evil people. Then you look around and you're like, wow, there's a lot of good men out there. And same for the women. Not all of them are evil. And in fact, I'll tell you what, all of them are good and evil. We're all messed up. We're all kinds of messed up. We're all terrible. But we're all also pretty darn awesome. We're all infinitely valuable. But we're all pretty cool and nice at times. Sometimes you might hate a personality because it's like, man, they don't seem to care about people at all. And they're so worried about getting this job done. They don't, what's wrong with them? But then at the same time, you look at them and you're like, that's amazing that they go that far out of their way to help someone. They looked grumpy the whole time they were doing it. But at the same time, I didn't even consider helping that person. And this person went out of their way to do it. And it's like, people are full of good and bad. But you get to decide what you focus on. Do you want to focus on the bad in everybody? Is that what you want to bring out in them? Because what you're going to do is if you focus on the bad in people, that's what you're going to bring out of them. Because you're going to talk to them like that. You're going to treat them like that. And that's going to make them feel bad. And then they're going to show you their bad side. But if you can look at the good in people, if you can look in the good in the world around you, that's what you're going to bring out of the world around you. And that's what you're going to bring out of yourself. So do your best, please, to think of the world as a beautiful place. If you want a good example, if you want to talk to somebody who has great examples of what the beauty in the world is, go talk to Princess. Princess is extraordinary at finding the beauty around her. In the physical world around her, she has a keen eye at picking out the beauty. Talk to her. She has great wisdom there. Mostly what me and Joe are doing is just showing you the beautiful sides of things. There's so much wisdom in pain. And there's so much good that we can reveal through it. Mm-hmm. Pain is something we don't enjoy, but it's not bad. And so, anyways, I encourage you, do your best to think of the world as a beautiful place. It's going to help you a lot in getting over your depression, help you getting over your desire for suicide, and it'll help your friends get over theirs too. Because as you lift them up, as you lift yourself up, your friends will see that and they'll start to lift themselves up too. Trust me, I've been through that. It's weird, but it's beautiful. You lift yourself up, suddenly everybody starts looking at you and being attracted to you and wanting to be around you more because you've got the smile on your face and you're making other people smile. And everybody wants to be around that person, And so then you lift them up and they become those type of people. So anyways, that was long and drawn out and I said the same thing 400 times, but it's important to say it over and over and over and over.
That's why it's important.
Because that's going to change everything. It is going to change everything. Mm-hmm. Because the bad's out there and the good is out there, but what you focus on is how you're going to feel. Mm-hmm. So please spend time every day, intentionally and unintentionally, with every person you meet, looking at the good. There you go.
Yeah. And Kayla, don't think I haven't been seeing what you've been writing in the chat, because I've been keeping my eye on it. And I just wanted to go out on a limb here a little bit, and I could possibly get fired for doing this.
Wait.
But I'm going to do it anyway. What?
As a co-founder of Black Static and Swerve?
Yes, I could be fired.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck getting
fired. No, I just wanted to give you guys are here. We appreciate you guys so much. And, I wanted to just kind of give you a glimpse into what we see for BSS. Because, we're here. This Black Static and Swerve. We, years ago, Ryan and I started talking and Kyle, got involved. And, Kyle. And then, there's a handful of others of us. And, we kind of cobbled this thing together. And, it was funny. Ryan was Black Static Studios and I was Swerve Music Company. And then we decided.
Entertainment? I thought it was Swerve Entertainment.
Maybe. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Whatever. Yeah, it was a long time ago. But anyway, so we just kind of decided, hey, we're going to do this together for the rest of our lives. So we'll just combine the names and that'll be really cool. because there are other Black Statics out there and there are other Swerves out there. So we were like, hey, what if we combine them, then we'll be different than anybody because we Black Static and Swerve. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So anyway, that doesn't even matter. What matters is we're in the business of, trying to expand community. And I saw a comment of yours, Kayla, that you felt like you're maybe just another fangirl. And you know, I don't I have never that thought crossed my mind. I was like, I've never seen any of you guys as like fans. I always just see you guys as like community. Like we're all in this community together and we're all,
Yeah.
even though I haven't met most of you in person, most of you I don't know what you look like or sound like. Kayla, I know what you look like and sound like, and you're beautiful and your voice is beautiful.
Just on
And
that note, I want to say
uh,
I've never thought of anybody as a fan either, and it's interesting because people come to me and they say that they're a fan or whatever, and it's weird because I have to call fan art just because that's the name for it.
right.
But when I meet somebody, they're a person.
When I
And
see
I'm
the word fan art, I always think fan fart.
oh my gosh.
That's what I
So
see.
yeah, but it's
Sorry.
always been that people think or consider themselves fan when I always just consider them people that might be interested in what I do, you know? Um, but anyways, yeah, I would hope no one would consider themselves just a simple fan.
Mhm.
There's more to a person than what they like even, and they like a whole lot more than just my stuff. I'm just one guy on YouTube, right?
Right, yeah,
Anyways,
exactly. There's a bazillion of them. But yeah, so like we are putting together a community. We're like, hey, this could be a place. I mean, we're musicians. We make music, but there needs to be community. There needs to be this whole dynamic of it, not just a musician up on a stage and then all the people that are his fans and clamoring and he's trying to avoid them and get to the tour bus before anybody notices and all this kind of stuff. It's like, no, you know, there's got to be a way that we build this in a community aspect. And so that's kind of what we're doing here. And not only that, there have been other times when I've been in the business of building communities, and I met pretty much everybody I work with through that endeavor. Um, like I met Ryan in the pursuit of building community,
and Kyle
and now we work
and
together, and Kyle,
Jesse and
and Jeff,
Jeff.
and Jesse, and yeah. And so that's another part of this BSS community is that we are meeting people, we're putting this community together. Every single one of you has some kind of talent, and I'm constantly amazed at the level of talent in this community. I mean, all of you guys have something to bring to the table, and it's like if we all work together doing different things, doing whatever we're good at, whatever our talent is, whatever, we can really create something amazing. you know all these different, I mean, Ryan's collaborated with all kinds of people on through different music projects and all this kind of stuff. The one that blew up and kind of made his rise to having a bazillion subscribers or whatever was a collaboration with Amory. you
Mhm.
know and it's just, I sound like Mr. Rogers. What? Sorry. I didn't mean to sound like Mr. Rogers.
I'm sorry
It's a
about
beautiful
that.
day in the
It's loud.
neighborhood. Um, but, some of these things are going to take some time to put together, but we always looked at it as like, hey, there are people with lots of different talents. And if we are in a community of the same mind, part of the thing is we wanted to always make a message that was going to empower people and lift people up and feed the good wolf in your brain, because probably 99.99999% of the media consumption we have is horrible for us.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it is. I mean, the news, oh my gosh, you want to be depressed, just watch the news. Like, it's crazy. So anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
the whole idea for Black Static and Swerve is community with arts, with media, with a message that empowers the world. And through that community, we find special talent, and we all work together, and we bring our talents to the table, and we create more media and more music and more art and more beauty for the world and through all of us. I mean, this whole big community. And so I seriously, there are so many of you that I look forward to working with, and some of
Mm-hmm.
you I just don't know that you have a talent or skill that I mean, I know you have one or two or 10 million, but I don't know what they are, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to learning, you know. Now some of these things are going to take some time to put in place. I still have a full-time job. Most of us still have full-time jobs
Mm-hmm.
that we got to, figure out a way to get rid of so we can focus on BSS full time. But that's the goal. And so I just
Mm-hmm.
want you to, keep that
Yeah.
tucked in the back of your head, because
And
BSS
it's
has a pretty awesome future coming.
oh for sure. And
And you
it's
guys
more
are
about
part of it.
it's more than just talent and skill, it's culture, like our intention with Black Static and Swerve is to change the culture for the world, make the world a better place. And we aren't saying that and being like, I want to change the world, and then what is that? That's not a dream. That's silly. No one
Yeah.
does that. But I'll tell you what does that. A bunch of people. Because if a bunch of people think about the world differently, then the culture is different.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
And so culture is really just a numbers game. And how many people are thinking, you know, one way or another. If the culture, yeah.
I'm
And by
gonna
the way,
find you. I'm gonna get you one way or
or
another.
another. Um, but yeah, so you have culture and you have community, and they kind of have similar roots. But the word culture comes from the word cult. So Black Static and Swerve is a cult, and it's a cult because
Oh,
they've
great.
got
Someone's
a
gonna take
community.
that sound bite.
Yes, right. And so you have cult, which turns into culture. And culture is basically what people's thoughts are, a combination of everybody in the community. And a community comes from the word commune or commune, which means to not just to gather, but to be, it's a sense of oneness.
Mm,
When you commune with someone, you're forming a relationship. And so a community is a bunch of relationships that are tied to each other. And so, anyways, it's really cool because yeah, like Joe said, our vision is to change the world, and help as many people as possible. But you guys are the ones that are actually doing it. On my Discord, and I can't even call it my Discord. It's your guys' Discord. I'm not even there, but a lot of you are there, and you are, carrying the culture there and making everybody, um, you know, sharing the love and everything like that. And similarly, wherever you go, you bring yourself with you and you bring the culture with you. And
mhm,
so, um, you know, as much as we have to try to do our part, um, we end up relying on you guys most of the part. You guys aren't just fans; you're whole people. You're real people that are a part of what we're trying to do,
mhm,
and we're a part of helping you do that.
mhm.
You know, we're a part of
Yeah.
helping you try to be the person you want to be.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's why Don't Worry Wednesday was so important for us to make sure we kept it alive, you know,
mm,
because
yeah.
this is such an important thing. I love Don't Worry Wednesday. I love the fact that, we can help unpack some challenges and all this kind of stuff, because I think that's such a huge, it can really have an impact, for not only the people that post their issue, but for everybody who listens. It just, and not only that, but for us who try and talk about it. I always feel better, I'd like to do this every day.
Yeah. Although it'd be taxing, but it
It
would be
would.
cool.
Yeah, it would be cool.
It'd be really cool if we could do that.
Yep. So
Maybe
anyway,
one day we'll get.
so now since I'm gonna get fired.
Yep. See you later, man. You weren't getting paid anyways, but now you're off the payroll.
Oh man. Yes. So we're talking about culture and communion and stuff. And I can totally see the sound bites of, it's a communist cult.
That's right. That's what we are over here at VSS. We're just a communist cult.
Oh man. And now somebody's gonna take that and they're gonna put it on. Somebody's gonna find it.
Yeah. You know what? Do it, because guess what? That's way more controversial and will get a lot of views, and then they'll come find this. They'll come try to find the story themselves, and they'll find out, hey,
true.
Part of communist cult.
That's right. Cult. Bring it, man. So yeah. So I don't know. Thanks for listening to our rambling on that. But I don't know. Did you want to get to Jose's?
Yes.
Question from last from on Wednesday?
Yes. I think that would be wise.
We should. Jose is still here.
Perfect. This one's posted by Princess.
Yeah, Princess, thank you again for posting these. You are outstanding.
Okay. So they said this. Well, my mom and stepfather and dad always come home late and tired. I try my best to behave, but I get angry really easily, and I try my best to stay calm. I clean the dishes and the house, but I don't think I'm helping in any way. My mom comes home late, and then and anyway, my mom comes home late and then needs to cook, and I feel like if I know how to cook, I can help them a lot more. That's why I'm trying to teach myself how to cook. But I also have school kind of in my way, because since I'm in an honors class, we have double the work compared to the rest of the school. This also means double the homework, and it takes me 2 to 3 hours to complete my homework. My schedule is so tight, and I'm feeling really stressed out lately. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jose, for posting that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It is a stressful time being in school, and when they give you lots of homework.
Oh, wait, there's more, I suppose. Hold on. Oh, okay, Seb. He goes on to say, I feel it's my duty as a son to help my parent as well as my stepfather. They work hard for what my brother and I have. Okay, anyways, go on.
Yeah. No, that's, I admire you, Jose, for taking that, for feeling that way. I mean, a lot of people in our world today, a lot of people are really selfish. A lot of us are, and we all kind of struggle with selfishness. And for you to take these feelings to heart, that says a lot about your character and the unselfish nature that you're exhibiting in this. And I know it's tough. You've got lots of homework, you're trying to teach yourself how to cook, you got to be at school, you're doing honor classes. It piles on and piles on and piles on. I get it, and it's not easy. So wow. So I mean, I guess I mean, I don't see a question. I see maybe we can talk about how to deal with stress. Is that kind of what you were getting
Yeah,
at,
they did
Jose?
say that one thing they said is they become angry easily, um,
Oh,
and dealing with the stress too.
yes. Okay. So there is that. And yeah, it's kind of a natural thing for us when we get stressed to have an angry response. There are a couple different responses to, high amounts of stress. And they are anger, or perhaps just closing off the world. Excuse me. Depression, it's some kind of negative things. But one thing to think about, I didn't know this until very recently, that there are two kinds of stress. There's eustress and there's distress. And one is positive and one is negative. And the negative kind of stress is the one we all think about. When we say stress, we think of distress. We think of the kind of stress that moves us in the negative, makes us angry, does all these kinds of different things, right? But eustress is a good kind of stress. It's like what you put your body through when you exercise. It's a building kind of stress. And a lot of times, mental and emotional stress can be turned into a kind of exercise. It's not easy to do that, and you kind of have to step into it. But in my profession as a property inspector, starting small, I have taken moments of distress, which there are a lot of them in that field. You run into people, they're angry. You've got people yelling at you all the time. You've got people who are police officers that are, questioning you. There's all kinds of craziness, in this field of work. And it's been a gradual building of this habit where I can step outside of the situation, step outside of the stressful situation, and then look at it as an exercise and say, aha, this is my chance to work this mental muscle or this emotional muscle or whatever, muscle. And build it into someone who's more resilient. And so what you have here going on, Jose, you have the makings of becoming somebody very, very resilient and self-reliant and successful. I don't know how old you are. I think I saw somewhere in the chat that you said you were 13. And if you're 13 and you're dealing with this kind of stuff, if you treat it as a building and growing experience, which you totally can, and it's going to take practice to do that. But when you feel stressed, step back and look at it. It's hard to step outside of yourself sometimes, but as human beings, that's what makes us different than animals. Animals are in their experience all the time. As humans, we can step outside of our experience and look at ourselves and analyze our responses. And we can always choose what our response is. So if you're feeling this stress, you can take a step back, take a step outside, look at it and say, here is a chance to grow. And the more you stack, the more resilient you become, the stronger you become, the easier it is to handle things. And by the time you get to be an adult, your maturity level will be so high, people won't know how to deal with you because you'll be so far above, so many of the people in your age group, because your maturity level will be much higher, your resiliency will be much higher, your self-reliance will be much higher. So I encourage you to embrace it if you can. Embrace the stress, and treat it like an exercise. Other than that, give yourself a little bit of grace, because anytime that we're growing, we're going to mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make mistakes. We're going to, it's not going to be pretty. So learn to forgive yourself. When you're going through these times and you feel like you can't do, you should be helping more, but you simply can't because you've got so much to do. That's a moment for self-forgiveness. That's a moment of saying, you know what? I did my absolute best. If you did your absolute best, yes, I mean, we can always look back and go, yeah, well, I could have done this, I could have done that. But in the moment, you didn't have retrospect in the moment. In the moment, you were doing everything you could, and that's the best you can do. And so you can learn to forgive yourself, and you can say, you know what? I did the best I could and I fell short. Well, and then you can look at it in retrospect and you can be like, oh, I could have done this and I could have done that. Now, instead of beating yourself up because you didn't do those things, you can say, how can I do those things the next time I'm in this situation? How can I remember to do these things next time? And you know what? If you're like me, you're going to forget. And you're going to be like, oh, dang it. I forgot.
But then you're gonna get
Okay.
it.
How can I remember next time? And yes, like Ryan said, eventually you're going to get it and then you're going to move on. And here's the crazy thing. I remember going to a seminar where I heard a whole bunch of different speakers talk. And this one speaker said, he was using the story of David and Goliath. It's probably familiar to most of you, but Goliath is the giant, David is the little boy. David ended up killing Goliath, right? And he said, there's always in your life, there's always going to be another Goliath. When you defeat one of your Goliaths, one of your big challenges, eventually you're going to figure out how to defeat it, and you're going to win, and you're going to be like, yes. But you know what? You just graduated to the next one. So there will be another one. And then you're going to figure out how to do that one. And then you're going to, and then there's going to be another one. And then, but that, when you can get invigorated in that challenge, it makes life so fun, because then you're just like, oh, what's next? What's next? How can I do this next one even faster? Oh man, this one's a hard one. He's attacking me over in this area of my life, Oh, okay. And then it might take you a while to figure out how to defeat that one. And then you defeat that one, and then you can move on to the next one. But that's how you grow. That's how you become somebody that can truly achieve some massive success. And Jose, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you asked this question. Thank you for posting. And I hope that some of that made sense to you. But that's pretty much all I have. And so, Ryan, hopefully you've got some great wisdom to make up for my rambling.
Thanks for everything you said. That's great. I gotta hand it to you, Jose. Just like Joe, I'm impressed. I mean, that you are so concentrated on helping your parents, and You also added your brother. You said, I also want to add that my brother isn't doing so well. He means in school, I think. And I try my best to help him, but I'm not sure how to teach without confusing him at the same time. Um, which, yeah, that can be very difficult. Um, Especially because everybody learns in different ways. Everybody's um, their background and ways of understanding. It's complicated, but um, in our brains, there is a foundation upon which everything builds. Um, and everybody's foundation isn't necessarily the same. And so when you try to build something up, they might not have a foundation for it. So teaching can be really difficult. And so sometimes you just got to start from the basics. Um, but and re-explain terminology that they might have not realized they missed, things like that. Trying not to confuse somebody can be very difficult. But yeah, anyways, I gotta hand it to you. That's so awesome that you are pouring yourself out. You're doing all of this stuff on top of um, all of the school homework that you have for honors and everything like that. Um, and you know, as far as juggling, I think we talked about this before. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Princess or it might have been someone else. But there are times in life where it's impossible to do all the things you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it happens a lot. There are so many times where we want to help somebody, but at the same time, we have all of this homework to do. At the same time as we got to find time to eat and sleep. And there's just so much on our plate that not all of it can get done. And it's impossible. There's not enough time in the day. There's not enough energy in the human body. And like Joe said, you just got to forgive yourself. You're only human. That's okay. That's a part of life. That's just how it is. It's not the best, but it's just how it is, and that's good. It's awesome that you spend so much time trying to fill out all of your day doing something productive, doing something for others. The fact that you want to learn how to cook food for your family, even though you're only 13, what the heck? That's amazing. Um, you know, um, I'm just really impressed. So keep being you. One thing I'll say is that, we don't have control over our life. And so you just go where it takes you and you make it the best you can in that scenario, in that situation. There's thousands of different choices in life and there's millions of different paths you can take. No matter what path you take, there's always a path that leads to good. I was going to say there's always a path that leads to God, but I'll change it because some people aren't religious. I'll just say this. There's always a path that leads to good, no matter what road you go down in life. If you go down a bad road, if you go down a bad path, there's always a path that leads to something better, no matter where you are in life. And sometimes there's so many good paths and you're struggling to figure out which good path to take. And that's beautiful because that's the moment where God looks down at you and says, show me what you got. What are you going to choose? And that's how you build relationship with your creator. And maybe you don't believe in God. That's okay. Just disregard what I just said. But regardless, sometimes there's so many good things to choose from. And you don't know what to do. I can go help my mom out. I can go do my homework. I can go help my brother out. I can go do the laundry. I can go outside and get some ice cream. All good things. Some things are maybe better than others. But don't pick on yourself for not being able to do everything. I think a lot of times we put all of this stuff on our plate and we see it as, we start to get stressed and we start to see it as an obligation and like, I'm supposed to do all of these things. And if I'm not doing them, then I'm a terrible person. No, that's not exactly how it works. These are all good things that you get to choose to do. And the more that you can do, the better, sure. But don't try not to think of them as bad if you don't do them. They're all just good paths. And you can't complete them all, but you can do whatever you can do. You can do whatever you do. Um, so try not to get stressed. Try not to feel overly obligated, um, because no matter what you choose, you live on.
Mm.
And no matter what you choose, there's always another path to take that leads to something better. Um, and so, yeah, try not to get too caught up in making those choices and making them feel like a burden to yourself or like you're not good enough. Okay. Try not to do that to yourself. Because the reality is they're all just choices. And anything you do is better than doing nothing. But if you do nothing, if that's what you decide, because you're lazy, because I'm lazy, I do it. If you do nothing, that's okay. Forgive yourself at some point after you're done doing nothing. Forgive yourself and start doing something. And there's a path waiting for you to go down that's an adventure, something you haven't done before, something maybe you have done before, but either way, something good. And the other thing is be patient. I think Princess said this too, patience. They say patience is a virtue, and it actually is. It is.
Mhm.
It's one of the most valuable virtues of all the virtues. Not the most valuable, but it's one of the best. So rare is patience in our day. Patience requires but creates peace. If you can be patient, you can earn peace for yourself.
Mhm.
Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your younger brother. Be patient with your parents. You know, patience is hard. I don't know how to teach it. I grew up having patience. I don't, God blessed me. I didn't get to pick that. I was given it at birth, and I'm very thankful. Um, I was born very, very patient, and I'm patient with almost everything. And
In fact,
it,
it's the main reason that Ryan and I have been friends for so long because he's so patient.
it's not like that we wouldn't be friends, okay? I would just yell at you more. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, like patience is one of those things in life that if you have it, you have something that is life changing. It's not like one of those things where it's like, I read a book today. Did it change your life? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. I read that the war that happened in South Africa in the year 1635, 4,000 people died.
Mm.
Not life changing. Maybe it'll come on the test, but it's not life changing. Patience, life changing. So be patient, but especially be patient with yourself. Um, it's okay. I think that's the main thing. Is it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Whatever.
Mhm.
Life has so much beyond this moment waiting for me. It's okay. Whatever. So I have to sit in the car for 3 hours straight because my mom went inside to run an errand and now I've been here for 3 hours. It's okay. That's okay. It's all time that I can reflect. Sweet. I don't get that much time to reflect, you know? It's all time. Maybe I could take a nap. Maybe I needed the nap. Maybe I didn't. But hey, I make of the moment what I can. Be patient. It's okay. Um, so yeah, that's what I got for you. You're on the right road. I
Mhm.
think you know that. You just keep doing what you're doing, you know? Um, go for it, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank all of you And Rosie's here. Hi, Rosie.
Hey.
Haven't
Hi,
seen
Rosie.
Rosie
Nice to see you here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're just in time for the end of the show.
Woo! The best part. Yeah, it really has been a good show. But yep, 2 hours has gone by. And kurai, that's a good one. C'est la vie. Yeah, that's just life. So when you get stressed, I have to accept it for what it is and move forward. Yep, life is life.
It
What can
is.
you do?
And apparently I'm Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, somehow you sounded like Mr. Rogers at some point. I'm not sure. I didn't watch
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers a whole lot. I think Jesse did. So you'll have to ask him. He might know a little bit more about the situation.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I said that was like Mr. Rogers because I was a really big fan of Mr. Rogers. Jesse loves Mr. Rogers.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Oh, I think the word from our sponsor is Mr. Rogers.
Oh, there you go. A word from our sponsors, Mr. Rogers. Whoa. If we were sponsored by Mr. Rogers, whoa. No, that's just a word.
If he sponsored us, we'd probably have more money and I wouldn't have to do inspections anymore.
Yeah. And we'd probably also have a lot more people coming here. And
yes, and there'd be a lot more content.
I don't think he would disagree with our message here. I don't think he would disagree with what we're doing. I think he'd be appreciative of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's right in line with what Mr. Rogers was trying to do. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, first time you made it to the end. Nice, Crimson. Good job. But you can't be on here Wednesday? Oh, well. I'm sorry. That's okay. We'll see you another time.
Well,
Cats said something. Rook said something. I was told that he would never talk on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. The last one lasted 11 hours. Thanks for saying that. That's true.
Quick announcement. This coming Wednesday, I'm not sure what time I'll be here because I am testing for my next belt in Taekwondo on Wednesday. So I'm not sure what time that's going to get done.
So we might not do one on Wednesday?
The plan is to be here, but it might be really late. And if it is, I don't know. So that is a possibility this coming Wednesday. So I'm sure we'll be able to make some kind of an announcement or something.
One quick thing before we end this. Sophia, how do you pronounce your name? Just put a capital O or a capital I based on what's supposed to be, because what's supposed to be emphasized. Because earlier you said you love the way I pronounce your name, and I don't know if I said Sophia or Sophia. I surely didn't say Sophia, because it's not Wingardium Leviosa. Not Sophia. Anyways,
it's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
You know what? Ugh. I can imagine seeing him. I mean, like, all right, this friendship's gonna go real good. A bunch of planes. No, planes have erupted from her name.
Sophia says, no, I love the way you say it. I want to say it that way now. You always go, Sophia.
Yeah. Sophia.
Is it Sophia?
It's probably Sophia.
Sophia.
Rather than Sophia.
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 I know it's probably
either one sounds beautiful. I love that name. I told you before, I really like the name Sophia or Sophia. Yeah. Or Sophia. Anyways, that's that. Thanks for joining us all. Yes, last time we streamed, we forgot to turn it off. and it just stayed on. We didn't know, but it stayed on until the next morning. No activity was going on, so you didn't miss anything. But yes, we left it on somehow. So
Did Embiid play the whole time?
nope, it was silent.
Silent.
Yeah, I was surprised. I figured Embiid would be looping, but no, it just plays one time through. So, anyways, with
That's a
that,
great
how about
song
we
to loop
turn
for 12 hours.
to Embiid and listen to it? Have
That
a
sounds like a good
wonderful
thing.
life, everyone. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys being here so much. You guys. Yeah. And till next time.
Till next time, keep a
Enjoy.
waddling. And bring Waddles back, right? Where's Waddle? Are you gonna put it on? He's not even gonna tell us. He's just gonna be like, "Hey, you're back. Hey, you're gone. Hey, you're back and gone. Hey, we're on. Hey, boy."